Thanks, guys, for coming. I'd like to tell you, and some of you will know this and some of you may not, but I'm going to tell you what is happening in hospitals down south. Those that are vaccinated and present with COVID are now being given, wait for it, ivermectin. Ivermectin they're giving them, and they're surviving the COVID and walking out of the hospitals. And they're going and saying, look, the vaccine saved me. It wasn't the vaccine that saved them, it was the ivermectin. And those that are unvaccinated and are presenting with COVID, guess what they're doing to them? They're putting them on ventilators. And ventilators are the wrong treatment for people with COVID. It causes pulmonary edema and they drown. This is what happened in America last year. That's why all the thousands of people died in America last year. And this is what they're doing in Australia to our fellow Australians in Victoria and New South Wales, and I am disgusted as a nurse of 40 years. I met a nurse on the Sunshine Coast a couple of weeks ago at one of the silent protests. This nurse was about to graduate and she was doing her practical. That's all she had to do until she graduated. She was working on a ward and a lady came in, an elderly lady, probably in 60 age, around that period, and she'd had a massive stroke, this woman, after having had the vaccination. When the handover occurred with the nurses changing shift, they told this nurse, this lady, she's had the double vaccination, she's suffered a serious stroke, and blah, 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 that was the rest of her treatment. When this young nurse, a new trainee nurse, went to write in her notes what she had done for this patient, she noticed there was nothing written in the notes about this woman having had the double vaccination. And as a good nurse should do, she asked questions. And she asked the senior nurses, why was there nothing in this lady's notes about being double vaccinated? And you know what they said to her? They said, don't ask questions. And so the young nurse then went to one of the doctors and asked him, why is there nothing written in this lady's notes about double vaccination? And he said, don't ask questions. An hour later, that nurse was pulled off the wards and sent somewhere else. I'm going to hand you over to a good colleague of mine.
Thanks, Laurie. I'm Chris. We're nurses, we're awesome, just ask us. We're from the Sunshine Coast, and there's a few little things that I wanted to mention, that always the pen is mightier than the sword, okay? So what I'm doing is I'm writing to every school, and have done, in New South Wales, babies all the way through to year 12, letting them know about the dangers of vaccine and the litigation they may potentially be facing. The year 12 kids, probably in a couple of years, will be majors. They'll be able to then sue the school themselves, so it's not a good thing. Schools should not be getting in the way of patient and doctors' decisions about health. You know, it's none of their business. You should not be putting that responsibility on the teachers. It's just disgusting. About 6 weeks ago, they rounded up 24,000 year 11 and 12 school kids and put them on buses, took them to the stadium. The parents were denied entry. Okay, now this must have been the scariest thing ever. They had police there and all these kids were jabbed. 2 died on the spot and then 2 died later on, and then it's radio silence. Haven't heard anything else, but that's just disgusting. So I'm writing a big letter which also has an attachment, and it's from the COVID Medical Network. COVID Medical Network. They're doctors in Australia who are trying to warn other doctors. They're very brave because they could be struck off. So COVID Medical Network, if you want to get onto them and support them, that's a good thing. Now I'm attacking Queensland, so all the skills in Queensland are going to get a letter from me. This is what we can do, and it's not hard. I don't have to get shot at. I don't have to get a slingshot butt thing on my butt. I just sit at the computer and try and be a bit of a word meister, and all of you can do that too. Okay, you can do that. The pen is mightier than the sword. Okay, now there's a very good mob called The Australia Project, TAP, right? TAP.org. Yes. Hop on to them, and they've actually got a really well organised campaign of letter writing. If you liaise with them, they will tell you what letters to write at what time. So it's actually, everybody knows what's happening, and there's no doubling up or missing gaps, so it's really awesome. So yeah, that's all I'd like to say. The biro is mightier than the sword, and just keep telling the truth and be strong. When I go down to wherever I'm going to the shops or whatever, I'm not wearing a mask and I don't want to log in, I just think to myself, I hold this mindset, I'm an Aussie chick, I'm going to go and get a pie, and that's it, you know. I'm an Aussie chick, I'm going to go down the pub. I don't even think about masks, so hold strong that thought in your head. Power to the people!